Hey, good evening, everybody. This is the GWW's technology editor, Agasicles Stamus, and I'm here broadcasting from The Forge, GWW's channel that covers hardware, software, apps, and anything tech. This is another episode of Out of the Box, where I'll be covering my initial impressions on the latest tech before heading out to do the actual review. Tonight, I'm going to be covering the PlayStation 4 Universal Media Remote, as well as a set of silicone gel skins and covers for the PlayStation 4 remote controls. So let's get started. So one of the things I've got in tonight is the PlayStation 4 Universal Remote. I'm not quite sure why this particular product took so long to be made available. There was obviously the Blu-ray Universal Remote for the PlayStation 3 back in the day. That was pretty much available pretty shortly after launch. The way I remember it, I think it was available within the first year. But the PS4 Universal Remote has taken a while. So the PS4 remote finally became available around the 20th of October, so it's been on the street for just under 3 weeks. It uses two AAA batteries that go in the battery compartment back here. If you want to compare the thickness of the two remotes, this is the PS4 one on top and the PlayStation 3 one on the bottom. So it's a skosh thinner. It's got this curved back, which gives you the good feel in the hand when you're lounging out on the couch. Up until now, I have been using this Nyko remote for my PlayStation 4, which is smaller, more compact. There are definitely some gaps that I've encountered with this particular remote in terms of apps that I've tried to use, or even just getting around the UI where a particular face button function doesn't quite yield the result that I'm expecting. This remote is also dependent upon a dongle that has to be inserted into one of the USB ports on the PlayStation 4. So the current Universal Remote can also be used to control your TV, cable box, and receiver. It can be used to control up to 4 devices. It's Bluetooth, so it's non-directional, so you don't have to actually point it or aim it at the PS4. You can hold it straight up and down, or however you want to utilize it, again, when you're lounging. It does have PlayStation 4 face buttons on it along this row. So it's got the triangle, square, circle, and X. One of the things I don't like about it that I've already seen, just breaking it out of the box, is it still doesn't have a dedicated subtitle control, which I'm just accustomed to, from my home theater box setups and other devices. It's just nice when you're watching a movie to just be able to hit that singular control and bring up subtitles. Again, like I mentioned, it's got the curved back. The keyboard layout between the two remotes, great. I think I just turned my PlayStation 3 on. The keyboard layout between the two remotes really hasn't changed that much. It's very similar. The PS button on the PS4 Universal Remote has kind of a more glossy plastic material that's been used instead of kind of the rubbery button that was used on the old PS3 media remote. This back also has a slight amount of texture to it. I don't know if you can see the grips. This is not an auto-focusing 1080p camera, so you may not be able to see that really well, but that gives you a slightly better grip. I'm sure it's still pretty slick, and I'm sure it'll go flying out of my hand, which in my new command center is a bit of a problem because the floor in here is concrete. So hopefully it won't get damaged too much over time. I do like that they did use a slightly different form factor, so there's no way to get the remotes confused. Right now, this device is going for about $30 on Amazon. And of course, as I head in to do the actual review, what I'm going to be on the lookout for is those app gaps where there's some loss of functionality when utilizing this remote. In particular, on both the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, what I'm typically accustomed to seeing is some loss of functionality, particularly in Hulu for some reason. I don't know why. But I have used remotes in that app on the two consoles and been able to get into the app with the remote, but then once I'm in the remote to actually control the video, I've had to flip back to use the actual game controller. And on the Xbox, I really don't understand that because it's had a first-party media remote for some time. So over to the silicone cases, and I'm not actually going to be doing a review on these on the site, but I do want to just talk about them for a while for anybody who's maybe in the market for these. I don't know how everyone else is. Of course, everybody's different, but for me, game controllers tend to be too small for my hands. The last console game controller that I was really comfortable with was the original Xbox controller for the original Xbox, which most people claimed, or most people complained about being too large, but it was quite comfortable for me. This particular set of gel skins is sold by Slick Blue on Amazon, which has that seller has a 4.8 star rating. Just in case you're at all nervous about ordering from them, if you're going to order these, and this set goes for just south of $9. I went with the camouflage set, and I'll show you the other gels or skins that it comes with. This set has been available since about July, so it's been on the market for about 4 months. It comes in 7 different color schemes. This one is one of the camouflage schemes, and this is blue. It comes in a big Ziploc bag, and it comes in a 3-pack with no muss packaging. So, yeah, it just came in this pack. It's not working out as well as I planned, but yeah, this is what they look like coming out before the controller is inserted. And what you get 3 sets of skins for the controller, as well as these nubs for your thumbsticks. The controller goes in really easy, so it was like 10 seconds to get the thing installed, so to speak. There's a wrist strap on here. I'm not quite certain I'm ever going to use that. I'm probably going to try it just to see if it feels comfortable or makes a difference at all. For a small child or something, it might make sense if you don't want them dropping the controller. One of the things I really like is are these thumbstick covers, because the PS4 controllers, I think, actually need to turn around and look. So give me 1 second. Yeah, they don't have an indent in them like the Xbox One controllers do. So, you know, these are the Xbox controllers, and you can see that they've got an indent that your thumb just kind of sits inside of when you're playing with these. PlayStation 4 controllers actually have a crown, and my thumbs definitely slip off them as I'm playing. So that's the main reason I wanted to get these nubs to, and these have little raised dots on the surface to help increase your friction coefficient and help keep your thumb on there. I've used, I have another set kind of like this that I've applied to my Xbox 360 controller for the PC. That one, you actually kind of applied the skin to the controller, and it has an adhesive back. Excuse me. The gel tabs that go on that came with that one are a little more rubbery, and they were actually more difficult to get on. These are a little more rigid, and they go on a lot easier. So I'd recommend something like this definitely above some of the other sets that you see out there that have kind of the rubbery gel caps that are designed to go on your thumbsticks. The feel of this is really awesome. I feel like, you know, I've definitely got a much better grip on it. And what I'm really looking for is a controller that I can maintain a decent grip on while I'm playing, you know, hours of Need for Speed or you know, racing games, which I tend to game at for about 2 hours at a time. And over time, the small controller and the very slick plastic that these are made of definitely becomes a problem. So I'm currently on a campaign to outfit every gaming platform that I play on with some type of silicone skin and cap for the thumbsticks. You know, like I said, I fitted out the Xbox 360 controller, and I'm eventually going to get around to the other platforms. But this pretty much covers my PS4 for right now. I have 2 controllers, and like I said, it came with a 3-pack. So I've got a red one and a green one, and I'll be trying those out. So that's it for tonight's episode of Out of the Box. Stay tuned, and and keep an eye on this channel for the next day or two, because the other out-of-the-box session that I need to do, I'm really excited about. And that's where I will be going over the Ahhh S20C Mirage quadcopter drone. So this is the first drone that I've ever gotten a hold of. This is a very low-cost, inexpensive unit. So I don't expect it to be very advanced, but I am really excited to be doing the first drone review. I think it'll be the first drone review that the GWW has done. And as you can guess, with me with all things, I'll probably start scaling upward from here. So this is the low-cost one, and who knows where we will be in about a year of reviewing drones. So thanks a lot. If you got any questions, please send them in, post them as comments underneath this video or on the site. The review of the Universal Media Remote will be up pretty soon. It should be fairly simple. It's a remote. It doesn't do that much. And then, like I said, keep a lookout for the out-of-the-box episode covering the Ahhh Mirage S20C quadcopter, as well as the follow-on review for that as well. And be on the lookout for all of our other content on the GWW. I'm not quite sure what's going on now. Maybe it's because it's the holiday gaming season, Oscar bait movie season, and shortly after the fall TV premieres. But there's just a ton of content reviews going up on the site all the time these days, so keep an eye out. And that's it for me. Again, I've been Agastocles Stamus, the GWW Technology Editor. Thanks a lot for joining in, and I am out of here.